Greetings, recruits, and welcome to Imperial March Podcast, the show most biased opinion on Dagobah. I'm your host, Rocky, along with Seismic and Bryce.
Seismic Bryce.
Hi.
Hey-o.
They are my very rambunctious co-hosts. I probably pronounced it wrong.
Podcast.
Oh wow, you're so funny. Today we will be discussing the new age of Star Wars, or whatever we decide to name this video, but now we're calling it the new age of Star Wars, new generation, whatever. Basically, if you have not noticed, if you were born between sometime in 1825 and 2013, you will notice that Star Wars has changed quite a bit since the original prequel release. Like, first there was the original trilogy, and that lasted until like I think 2000 or 1999, whenever The Phantom Menace was released, and everything.
1999, my friend.
2000.
No, it was 1999.
No, it was 2001. Gosh.
2005.
Yeah, obviously. Alright.
No, it was 2008.
Alright,
It was 2008.
alright, no one's gonna get those references. Alright. You just actually name the years that each Star Wars movie came out just backwards. Like 2008, the Clone Wars movie came out, and then 2005, Revenge of the Sith came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
We did that on purpose.
If you haven't noticed, Star Wars has changed. We started out in 2000 and 1999. Sorry, Bryce. When everything sort of shifted, as in Star Wars became sort of a new type of. I don't know how to explain. It wasn't like it just sort of changed into like the Clone Wars, and the prequels kind of took over everything. And even though some people still didn't like the prequels, still there was no doubt that the prequels were popular. And everything kind of changed. Like, we had clones, and instead of stormtroopers, we had like a Jedi Council instead of just Luke and Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like,
and all of, like, the games and stuff, like, started focusing on it. We got... That's what we were gonna do, Rocky.
we were good.
We were gonna do a video game, top video games. Anyways,
You're doing it with Zox. Alright,
Oh yeah.
good editing, jeez. Alright, anyways.
Sorry.
Speak. Speak.
Oh, I can't. I almost restart.
Let's go!
I'm gonna restart that way for you to edit it, okay? Actually, no, just continue.
Okay.
On.
Alright, so, anyways, yeah, basically everything has changed. As I was saying, the video games changed. They started focusing on clones and stuff, and had Republic Commando and Battlefront 2, and,
Jango Fett.
yeah. And then
And the Old Republic, which makes sense.
I know.
That's not. That doesn't apply to this
No.
prequel thing, so I guess.
Well, it sort of does. It Star Wars kind of changed from, original trilogy technology and Old Republic. You know how hard that game would be.
It became like bigger.
Yeah,
I guess.
the universe grew.
Like before, mostly everything was just in that time period. I mean, there were some things like after it, but nothing was really before it.
Like, Star Wars originally was almost not really so much a universe as it was just 3 space opera movies.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah.
So, basically we have this time frame now.
10 years.
10 years later after Phantom Menace is released, and everything kind of is in the Clone Wars kind of era, and then it kind of we're coming to a stop right now. It's 2014.
It makes me so sad.
No, my child is being annoyed.
It's like, yeah, it's like, grew up with that Clone Wars thing, and it's like, I remember the mini-series, even though it wasn't very good in the stories, it was still,
Mm-hmm.
one of
I
those.
remember.
Yeah,
I remember watching
hold up,
that,
epic
and then
pose
like
for the win.
all of the like Battlefront games. I remember playing those. Now when I listen to the episode 2 soundtrack,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I want more Clone Wars.
I know. See, the thing about the Clone Wars, it was
instead of
such a,
trilogy.
in my opinion, was a really cool twist on Star Wars from the original, like, oh, evil empire, you know, just bad guys in suits. We don't know anything
It
about them.
was. Am I the only one that likes the Clone Wars era a little better than the original
The
trilogy?
Clone Wars are much better than the original trilogy, actually.
I go back and forth. I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth because, like, I don't know. Yeah,
I like the Clone
back and forth.
Galactic Civil War era has its moments, but I just like clones.
Wow, that's
I mean, I don't like that the rebellion wins every
I
time.
know.
That doesn't make me very
Exactly, like
happy,
every
but-
single comic book that the rebels and Empire have a fight, like the Empire just gets wiped, like as if they're nothing.
See, what happened was is basically when Clone Wars and all this time was introduced, you kind of replaced all the original trilogy and the Rebels, and now those being the bad guys. And although everyone knew that the clone troopers were becoming the stormtroopers, kind of obvious. And if you didn't get that, then wow. Like if someone like just watched the movies and were like, those aren't stormtroopers, obviously. And
White armor means bad guy.
yeah.
Somehow.
What, Rocky? What the heck?
So blah 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 blah.
Talk! I'm gonna sneeze!
That's the thing to do.
Yeah.
Also,
Um,
like, there was Jango Fett introduced instead of like Boba Fett, and it kind of told about his stuff. Like Boba was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Bryce.
yeah. And then Boba grew up to be the dude in Mandalorian armor that you saw in The Empire Strikes Back.
Like everything started becoming less about the original trilogy and more about the backstory of it, so to speak. Like, I don't know, it was just kind of like an era of Star Wars where everything kind of revolved around the same things, were about clones and gunships and Jedi Order, and all these planets were introduced, and basically the entire universe of Star Wars was created in the past 10 years, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, yeah. The thing I think is interesting is the people who grew up with the original trilogy didn't really like the prequels, because like when they went away, they probably have the same feelings we do right now, and I have a feeling it's gonna be the same with the new trilogy.
We're gonna be like,
We're gonna be like, hooray! I hope not, because I try to be better than that. But I mean, I don't know what they can do. I mean, the big thing the people are saying now are all the CGI, which is ridiculous, because if you would use stop motion, they'd be like,
yeah,
But
yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know what else they can do to make us mad, but I'm sure the story will be something. But
Jeez, wow.
Like, people
just
are
saying, I
just
don't
like,
Story will be something.
That's-
Star Trek Into Darkness.
Thinking of ways
It's just
they
like-
would.
it's just like the original trilogy fans are just like, stupid CGI, you suck. And
Well,
like,
the clones weren't bad, but sometimes, like, in the prequels, some of this,
Well, some things were, but
like,
but like,
Mustafar.
what's the name? Watto?
yeah, that was pretty good. But what I'm thinking is like,
Jar
if you would've
Jar.
Yeah.
if you would have used stop motion, they would have been like, go with the times. And if you would have not made CGI planets, then it would be boring because he's already done all the planets that are on Earth.
Mhm.
So he basically had to, and so they just want to find something. But anyway, that's not this is about.
It's not what it's about. We're going to talk about it, but that's not what this is about. Yeah, I feel. And so basically, we're coming to this new age. We got the Clone Wars cartoon, and I was always surprised that the Clone Wars cartoon kind of even came out because, like, I didn't expect it.
The 2008 one or 2003
The
one?
2008 one. You know, Star Wars, the Clone Wars, you know, all that.
Oh.
I was always sort of surprised they kind of put that out because, I don't know, I knew there was something new coming, you could kind of you kind of anticipated like they're not gonna not make another Star Wars movie, obviously. Like it's.
Oh yeah, put it in the movie theater.
Oh yeah, I remember that
That
was weird.
was that was
Yeah, I was
unexpected.
like,
It's like, oh, okay, cool, I guess.
I know it's kind of cool to go out and see, but like,
One thing that I really liked about the Clone Wars
what?
is that, like in Revenge of the Sith, like you see like the very few Utapau scenes where like the clones are shooting
Mhm.
stuff, and it's like I always wanted more.
Oh
of
yeah, definitely.
because like it's the Clone Wars.
I know it's the Clone
I
Wars.
felt like a lot of Revenge of the Sith was just Anakin and Padme, and it's like I want to see clones blowing stuff
I know
up.
some people.
Like I got that in Attack of the Clones, and I got that a little bit in Revenge of the Sith, but I wanted to see more, and so like seeing Christophsis and stuff like that was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Like, I know some people will be like, oh, just because the Clone Wars doesn't mean it has to be about the Clone Wars. I'm like, yes, it does. It's implied with the name, bro.
Well, I think as long as it's in the time period, I just
I
like
mean,
to
like,
see.
it's called the Clone Wars for a reason,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's the war. I know you can travel to other parts during the timeline. I have no problem with that. It's just like, well, it's kind of like the main conflict here, and you never focus on it enough, and that's why I like the Clone Wars so much, is because it focused on this timeline that, you know, as I forget who said this, but like it was such a brilliant idea, the Clone Wars, because even in the original trilogy, in the first movie, A New Hope, he said, I too fought in the Clone Wars and all that, remember? Like, he's like, I fought in the Clone Wars, and that was always like, I wonder what that is, you know? And then they kind of made it make sense.
That was Luke.
Yeah,
He said you fought in the Clone Wars.
yeah.
And then I'm like, what's the Clone
Yeah.
Wars? And then they show it, and it's like, oh, it's a Senate debate.
And then wait. Oh,
It's just like the cold like, and then like you just see it and just like it's just a Cold War.
like, so we're coming to the new age of Star Wars, and that means we're going to be getting Rebels, which is going to replace the Clone Wars. We're getting Rebels, and then we're also going to get Star Wars 7, which takes place after Return of the Jedi. And then we're going to get 3 more movies, and then we'll probably get spin-offs, but nothing is going to be before Clone Wars or before original trilogy anymore. This is kind of like, to put it sadly, this is kind of like the end of the Clone Wars, in a way. It's like, no more clone stuff. We're probably not going to get too much of them.
No more prequel. It's like we're not in the prequels now. We're in the
Yeah.
and we're getting like all the action figures and everything. No more Anakin's and Obi-Wan.
Yes!
Thank
But,
goodness. Now I get replaced by like I don't know what the name of the main character is in the new movie, but
Cuban.
I'll be a figure of him every single line. But yeah,
Wait,
I hope they
wait, the
have it
Black
on.
Series is still going to have clones and stuff.
Yeah, they're going to carry...
Well,
they
they've
sell.
basically done every single clone.
They're releasing the 41st Elite Trooper again. And
Like the gray
yeah,
one.
I hate the stupid Phase 2 helmets. Anyways, that's not what this is about, but... So basically, everything is changing. I feel, personally, you know, I'm gonna be bitter slightly because, you know, this is my childhood going to pieces. But, I'm sure the thing is, there will be a whole new generation of Star Wars fans that will be like, yes, this is so cool, you know.
I know. That's the good thing. I call it.
Star Wars is very multi-generational.
4-year-olds right now.
Well, Star Wars is very
Exactly, that's the
multi-generational.
thing. Like every generation has their Star
Mm.
Wars.
It's sort of,
We get to be big and big guys now.
it's, you know, it's
Have fun, people. I'm gonna be hitting on your trilogy
so,
just because it's fun. I really have no problem with it. It's fun.
maybe we'll get new. I know they're gonna have to introduce some sort of new character to take the place of the clone or stormtrooper because they know those are such a big part. They sell the toys.
There will probably be stormtroopers if they're doing what I'm thinking they're gonna do. There'll probably be
Yeah,
stormtroopers.
well, duh. I want stormtrooper.
Because the stormtroopers lasted a long
They
time.
better have a freaking stormtrooper commander. I swear.
Okay, man, a pauldron.
No, stormtroopers are pure white. That's all.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Well, look,
Through all
well,
that
the
training to not
Force
be
Unleashed says
individual.
otherwise, my
Force
friend.
Unleashed is so
I
not
know.
canon.
That-
I know, but like, but they have like they have like a full-on blue
Yeah, have his figure.
it's called a stormtrooper commander. So
They go through all that training to make him not,
so why not
him
use that model? It'll be
not
sick.
individual. They go through all that training to make him not individual, and then they wouldn't let him just wear individual
Yeah.
armor. they're an army of guys wearing white armor. I mean,
Plus,
that's the
in
point of
phase
wearing
2,
white
I
armor.
think the rumor was, and it's not, it's never been confirmed, but most of them say in the heads-up display that every time they look at another soldier, they get the rank automatically.
Ooh, that's sick.
So, if you read the Wikipedia page, that's what they say about phase 2. But it's never been confirmed, but it's very possible that, because how else are you going to tell? Commander, I'm not the commander,
Well,
I'm the
let's travel
private.
to Star Wars.
Bob, get over here.
Let's travel to the Star Wars universe and put on a Contra helmet and
Yeah.
see. I'd love to, but I can't. So,
but anyways, so yeah, overall, I am happy and sad and sad and more sad.
it's bittersweet.
Very bittersweet. And hopefully coming into this new, basically April, we're in April right now, so whenever this episode's released, and then it's going to be a few months, and then we'll get Rebels, and that'll be the beginning of the new thing. And well, it already, Clone Wars really already ended with season 6 ending.
I mean,
The
like
beginning
the end.
of the end.
No, hopefully it's not the end.
But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a comment in the comment section below with any thing what is your fondest memory? Honestly, what do you remember growing up of Star
Oh,
Wars?
I remember the stop motion.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna make Clone Wars stop motion, so I don't care what anybody says.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you all so much for watching. And subscribe to join the Imperial Army,
The Clone Army.
the Clone Army, today.
We are infinite.